I didn't give you my last name.
Yeah, I asked you. What was your last name?
I didn't give it to you.
Okay, so what is your last name?
I don't have to answer that.
Where do you live?
Huh?
Where do you live?
Well, you're not familiar yet?
No.
You will be soon.
Never met you before.
You will be soon.
Where do you live, Doc?
You haven't talked to Meng? You didn't hear about my interaction with him last week? No? Well, unless I've committed a crime, I don't have to give you money. And I have not committed a crime. You need reasonable, articulable suspicion that I have or about to commit a crime for a lot of things. I don't even need to listen. You're a law enforcement officer. You should know this.
How's it going, buddy?
Good. I get your name and badge number?
Daniels. 17167.
All right. Officer, is your name and badge number?
What's your name?
Paul, 17200.
All right.
What's your name?
My first name's Jay,
What's your last name?
and I don't have to give you that.
You don't?
No.
Well, in a few minutes you might have to.
Now,
Okay. Are
First-
you refusing to leave her?
no.
Okay. Have
Nope.
you been asked to leave?
This is a public building, and
Are you conducting any business here?
Yes, I am. Yes, I
Do you
am.
have receipts that you mailed things here?
Yes, I do.
Can you show me?
Sure.
Okay, hang on a minute. You got any weapons on you?
Whoa, don't touch me. I don't have any weapons. Hey, you guys don't need to, this is not 6 feet social distancing. You guys don't need to come up on me like that.
Well, we were called here.
I know that. But let me reach here and show you your policy. Your policy.
Thank you.
Your policy. Citizen encounters. Are you familiar? Because you're already not following your own policy.
Really?
Yeah.
What does it say?
Right here, citizen encounters in reference to enforcement action include, but not limited to, investigative detentions, traffic stops, arrests, searches and seizures, and application of force by officers.
Yeah, we were called for an unwanted person.
Yeah.
Which was you.
But,
So we're investigating that.
yep,
Yeah.
but you still have to follow policy, and,
I am.
and right now you're
Yes,
not.
yes, I am.
No, you're not.
How am I in violation?
We can get to that in a minute,
No,
but
tell me.
first,
You don't know.
yes, I do.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
I'm actually following my policy right now.
No, you're
We're
not.
investigating an unwanted party, which is you.
Yeah, on a public building, I was
Yeah, it
conducting
doesn't matter.
business,
Okay.
and I was waiting
And
for
now
the
you're no longer
supervisor.
wanted here.
Yeah,
Why
but I
have you
wasn't
left?
done. I wasn't
Why have
done
you left?
because it's a public building, and I can stay here until closing. I have
This
to.
receipt was printed about 45 minutes ago.
I know it took you guys that long to get here.
We're busy.
Because I just got off the phone with the dispatch probably about 7 minutes ago. So.
Well, as far as I know, this is not as far as I know, it's legally a public building.
Yeah, it is.
It is a
That
public
doesn't
building.
mean- yeah,
I
if
was
you're
here
not wanted,
conducting
you're not
business.
doing anything.
I was in line talking to the guy at the counter when this lady here showed up and she was waiting in line. And then the guy at the counter was trying to tell me I was done with my transaction when I was still waiting for a supervisor. I needed,
Do you need a supervisor today for that?
I did need a supervisor.
And what happened? Okay, let me talk.
But she doesn't know the reason. Can we step over here away from her?
Well, I
Because
mean-
this is ridiculous.
Well, hang on a minute. You want to record everyone else, and now you
Yeah,
want your
but now
privacy.
either
Why do you want your privacy when you're recording everyone else and they want their privacy?
because this is a conversation between me and you, not me, you, and her.
Okay. Well, she's standing on public property.
All right, so am I.
Okay, so talk to me.
All right, so
So you
I'm
wanted
not
a
breaking the law.
supervisor.
I'm not
You
breaking the law.
You asked for a supervisor.
I did.
And then what happened?
She showed up and wouldn't allow me to continue the
She
transaction.
showed up and
Yeah,
said,
hold on. She started saying things, so I turned around
okay.
because she approached me. She said, "Why are you recording?"
Yeah,
I
because
said,
people don't want you to record
"Because I
everything.
can. You're not feelings police. You're a law enforcement. I have not broken the law."
I'm telling you that obviously people get uncomfortable when you're.
All right.
Not me. I don't.
All right.
mind if you
So,
record me.
so I no longer wish to engage with you. I want your supervisor.
No, too bad.
What do you mean too bad?
We're dealing with you right now.
I want to speak to your supervisor.
Okay, well,
I no longer wish to answer any questions until I
fine.
speak to a supervisor.
We're not questioning you.
Okay, then I'll stand over here, and then you can get a supervisor. And you can educate these people, and there's no expectation of privacy in public. Well, according to your policy, you do. So let's get a supervisor over here. Can we get a supervisor, please?
you don't want to leave, right? Is that what you're saying?
That's not what I said. That's not what I said.
Well, I just asked you if you wanted to leave, and you said no. You're allowed to stay here until it closes.
I am allowed to be here till 2 p.m.
So I'm
when it
asking you
closes.
right now. You're done with your business, right?
As soon as
Are you done? I'm just asking you. Are you done with your business here?
well, technically, since they refused to let me speak to a supervisor after
You
our
want me to go ask them if the supervisor will come out and speak with you? Is that what would that help you out?
no, I mean,
That wouldn't help you out?
no, I can come back at another time or speak on the phone
That
or
sounds like a good
or
plan.
schedule an appointment.
That sounds like a good plan.
But I was at the counter
Okay.
conducting my business when she came up and said that I had to stop recording her because I didn't give her permission.
Well, yeah. I mean, again,
But there's
I
no
already told
expectation
you-
of privacy in
no,
public.
I already told you. People don't. I mean, you're at a post office. People don't like being.
I know, but it's still my right. Their feelings
It's like you
or
wanted privacy between me and you.
I didn't ask for privacy. I asked to step. No, I didn't. No, I
So
didn't.
what I'm saying is, we're on. It goes both ways. She's allowed to stay in here.
So it's unfortunate that you, as a law enforcement officer, with the general public, can't swallow your pride for a little bit and admit that I'm right.
About what?
Everything I'm saying out here and saying today.
Did I say you were wrong in anything?
Well, you try to insinuate that people's feelings trump the Constitution. They trump my rights to stand there and do this. Well,
See, now you're just making stuff up.
no, I'm not. Go back and watch the video. So did you learn anything here today?
What was your last name?
I didn't give you my last name.
Yeah, I asked you. What was your last name?
I didn't give it to you.
Okay, so what is your last name?
I don't have to answer that.
Where do you live?
Huh?
Where do you live?
Well, you're not familiar yet?
No.
You will be
Never
soon.
met you before.
You will be soon.
Where do you live, Doc?
You haven't talked to Meng? You didn't hear about my interaction with him last week? No? Well, unless I've committed a crime, I don't have to give you my name. And I have not committed a crime. You need reasonable, articulable suspicion that I have or are about to commit a crime for a lot of things. I don't even need to listen. You're a law enforcement officer. You should know this.
I still can ask your name.
Yep, and I can respectfully decline.
That was
Although, if I ask you, you cannot.
yeah.
I shouldn't even have to ask you. Per your department policy, you're supposed to introduce yourself and explain. No, verbally. Introduce yourself verbally and explain the reason for the questioning and why you were making the interaction. As soon as possible. As soon as possible. You did not introduce yourself. No, you did not. I had to ask you for your name and badge number. I had to ask you first. Your job is to introduce yourself. That was the first failure in your policy. Second failure in your policy is the failure to operate under a unbiased policing. Okay, that's your opinion. I'm using facts, you're using opinion. How am I wrong? How about you educate me then if I'm wrong? Okay, then educate me
As soon
then.
as I got out of the car, you asked my name and my badge number. I gave it to you. So tell me how I'm wrong. And I told you we were here for an unwanted person, which is you.
Yeah?
That's exactly what I said.
I had to ask you.
So why don't you record, or why don't you go back on your tape and look?
Oh, I will. Trust me.
The supervisor finally did show up and said he would check into this officer's actions, but we all know how that goes. But a police officer's duty is to enforce the law and maintain order impartially. It's crucial for them to gather all relevant information and understand the complete situation before taking sides. However, in this situation, the officer's personal feelings seem to have clouded his judgment. Choosing to side with the customer who doesn't want to be filmed solely because he agrees with her is a clear example of biased policing. Police officers should base their decision on the law, not their personal preferences. They should remain neutral and consider all perspectives before making a determination. Furthermore, the officer's delay in addressing News Now Buffalo request for a supervisor is both unprofessional and petty. As a public servant, delaying or ignoring such a request undermines trust in law enforcement and demonstrates his pettiness. Cops should approach situations unbiasedly, gather facts, and make informed decisions based on the law. Petty behavior, bias, and unprofessionalism have no place in law enforcement and only serves to erode trust in the system. Let's continue.
Can I speak with you just a moment?
Sure.
How are you today?
All right.
My
I'm
name's
a
Officer McPherson.
little hot.
I'm with the police department here in
Sure.
Bristol. The reason I'm talking to you is we've gotten some complaints about you going around filming in police department parking lots, things like that. What's going on?
Just doing some filming today.
Just doing some filming today?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Are you looking into some of the Commonwealth attorneys' cars and things like that?
I'm just,
Places where they have a reasonable expectation of privacy?
you know, there's no reasonable expectation of privacy in public, sir.
There is, sir. Inside of vehicles, there is.
Now, if you can see it from public, sir, you know better than that.
No, that's not entirely accurate.
Is that right?
Entirely accurate.
You all don't use, you all use that to your benefit?
No, sir.
It's not?
Absolutely not. Do you have your ID on you?
No, sir, I don't have an ID on me.
You don't have an ID on you?
No, sir.
Okay, what's your name?
I'm not giving my name, sir. I have no
Okay.
reason to.
Okay.
It's called the plain view doctrine. You should know about that. Anything you can see from public view is filmable and recordable.
Okay. So, trespassing on property like over here where you're not allowed to be, restricted areas?
Where's restricted areas?
Right over here
Show me where it's restricted.
Right over here where you were just
Okay,
at.
let's
We're
go.
We're not walking over there.
Show me where it's restricted. Where does it say restricted? Where's the restricted signs? Where's the private property signs?
When you're over here on
Where's
fire
the no?
department property,
Where?
when you're over here on fire department property,
Fire department?
that's not
public.
that's not public property.
Yes, sir, it is.
No, sir, it's not.
It's not funded by the public.
It is funded by
Well,
the
then it's
public.
public property.
But they have a reasonable expectation of privacy of the fire department too.
Sir, you don't know what plain view doctrine is, do you?
Are you the attorney?
How do you know I'm not an attorney?
Are you the attorney?
How do you know I'm
That's
not
what
an
I'm
attorney?
asking.
How do you know
Are
I'm
you
not
the
an attorney?
I don't know. That's why.
Well, all
I'm
right.
trying
Well,
to have a
don't doubt my
conversation with you.
intelligence.
I'm trying to have a conversation.
Well,
with
I am trying to have one with you too.
you. Okay. All right. So
You know
what's
what the plain
what's
view
going around-
doctrine
what's
is,
going
right?
around filming in everybody's
You know what
vehicles
the
and stuff,
plain
filming
view
inside
doctrine
police
is,
cars
right?
and things like that.
You know what the plain view doctrine is, right?
I do know what the plain view
Well,
doctrine
then why
is.
are you
Do
even
know what
questioning
the
me?
plain view
I
doctrine is?
absolutely do. Anything that you can see from public is recordable.
Okay. So you're saying
that simple.
You're saying that people don't have a reasonable expectation of privacy inside their vehicle.
No, sir. They have to. The onus is on them to create that privacy, just like in your squad car. I can walk up to your squad car right now and film everything I can see in here because it's called plain view doctrine. You've left your computer on, which is not a good thing
Is it not?
because that's on you to create that privacy on that computer, right?
Okay.
Right?
No.
That's not right.
No.
Is it on me to create that privacy? Am
Are-
I the one that's
are
supposed
you-
to shut it?
Are you schooled with the police department policy or anything?
I
like
am,
that?
sir, and in normal constitutional law as well.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Are
All right,
you?
So basically, you're just out here to cause trouble for everybody.
I didn't talk to anybody. So who's causing the
Basically-
trouble?
basically
You're the one that stopped me.
Listen, brother.
You're the one that stopped
I'm
me.
not stopping you.
Yes,
I'm
you
having a
did.
conversation
You
with
hollered for me and told me to stop. Did you not?
Listen, I asked
Did
about to
you
talk to
not?
I asked about
All
to
right.
talk to
So then you stopped me. So don't say
No,
you
I
didn't.
asked about to talk
Oh,
to you.
shut the f up.
Do you mind if I talk for just a second?
I'll talk to you, but he ain't make no sense.
So we got a call down here.
He's been
As
a
you
dick.
can probably understand, you're open carrying a firearm, which is fine, okay, and you
Yes,
also have
sir.
a mask on. That
Yes,
can cause
sir.
some public concern.
With the COVID today, seriously,
I'm just saying, somebody openly
Seriously?
Just
Now,
understand,
who's being
just
ridiculous?
Understand where I'm coming from, okay? So
No, I don't know
I'm
where
just
you're
telling
coming
you what
from.
the call was that we received.
well, I don't give a
okay?
shit what the call
All right.
was.
So that's why
If
we come
I'm
down
breaking
here.
a
Listen,
law,
we come down
don't
here to make
raise
sure
your voice to
we
me,
come
sir.
down
You're the
here
servant.
to make
Understand
sure
that.
you are safe
Don't
and everyone else is
safe.
safe, okay?
I'm carrying a
happy
firearm,
to
bro.
talk over
Fuck you. Fuck you. Have a nice day. Fuck you.
So we're going to continue with our theme when cops show how bad law enforcement officers can be. So how could this officer seriously think it's an expectation of privacy in the vehicle with clear windows that's out in public view? Either he's lying to get ID from Big G, or he's honestly that poorly trained. Both options are unacceptable. Now Big G referred to the plain view doctrine. The plain view doctrine allows an officer to seize evidence and contraband that are found in plain view during a lawful observation without a warrant. So when this officer claims he absolutely doesn't use the plain view doctrine, he absolutely lied. Well, it's obvious they're lying because when the first officer originally stopped Big G, he said it's because they received some complaints about Big G recording in police parking lots. But then later the big officer said we got a call for a public concern because Big G was openly carrying with the mask on. So which one is it? Big G, nice job not folding to these cops' ridiculous unlawful demands, and keep up the great work you're doing out there in your community. Let's continue.
See, you're allowed to do that. You are absolutely allowed to do that. I'm not going to take my mask
Well, you know
off.
what? When I knock you out, you will.
No. Did you hear what he just said?
Yeah.
Let me talk to him. Okay. Hey, buddy. How you doing?
I'm just taking pictures. That's all.
He said he
Here's the
was a
thing.
journalist.
Here's the thing. You've been asked to leave the property, okay, by the manager of the post office.
This is
okay?
public property.
Yes, sir. But you've been asked by the manager to leave the post office property. If you would like to go over there and take
I'm
your
not going
pictures,
to.
okay?
I'm not going
If you
to.
would like to go across the street and
This
take your
is
pictures,
public. Since it is owned by the federal government, this is public property.
okay. State law right now has asked you to leave the property. If you do not,
I'm going to show you why you're wrong. I'm going to show you why you're wrong.
I don't care what you have to show me, to be honest.
It's paperwork that says I can film
I
this.
have now asked you to leave the property. If you do not,
And
you
you're
will be
misinformed.
you will be placed under arrest.
Now, hang on a second. You're telling me if I don't leave, you're going to arrest me.
Yes, sir. You have been asked by a law enforcement officer to leave the property that you are standing on right now.
Here,
Do understand that?
I want you to read this. This is from the Department of
need to
Homeland
read
Security.
anything?
Yes, you do. Right there. It says I can film this. I can be on this property and I can film it.
Have I said anything about filming? No.
No.
I've asked you to leave the property.
But that's why I was asked to leave. I can't be trespassed from public property.
Yes, you can.
Unless I've done something wrong.
any
I
reference-
haven't.
no, that's
I
not
haven't
true.
created a scene. I
Sir?
haven't violated any laws.
Okay.
He's become disorderly.
Just don't let me say a word to him.
I'm not saying a word.
If you would shut your trap and listen for 2
Oh
seconds.
boy, you got an attitude, don't you?
If you would listen for 2 seconds, state law says if any representative of any business, anywhere, I don't care if it's federal government, which this would qualify as a
matters.
federal government business, any representative of any business asks law enforcement to tell you to exit the property, you must do so per state law. So if you would like to go that route,
He doesn't have the authority to ask
he
me to
does.
leave.
He absolutely does by state law.
Do you know what his position
State law trumps anything you're about to tell me.
I'm just
So
asking, do you know what his
you have-
position
You
is?
have about 30 seconds, because I'm about to walk inside and ask him if he would like to do the same thing. You have 30 seconds to leave this property. You
All right,
understand
I
me?
mean, a lawsuit is just as good being threatened for arrest. So
I'm not threatening
so,
arrest.
No, you're promising arrest. You're telling me if I don't
Exactly.
leave, you will arrest me.
Because that's what has
That's
to
an
happen.
ultimatum.
That is exactly what has to happen.
That's an ultimatum.
I'm giving you the opportunity to, on your own free will, walk off of this property, which it sounds like you're not going to. So if you would like
Oh, I will.
to not walk
I will.
off of-
I just want to make sure that I understand what you're saying. If I don't leave, you are going to arrest me.
Yes, per state law, I have to. So,
Okay, I'll move over there.
Do you have your ID on you?
I'm not going to show you ID.
Okay. When a law enforcement officer asks you to present your ID to them,
No.
you're required by state law.
You need reasonable, articulable suspicion of
Right
a
here.
crime.
Right here.
Of a crime. What is the crime?
Harassment.
It's not harassment.
It is.
No,
When
this
several
is not
peop- When several
harassment.
people have come up to me.
I have
and
kept
told
my
me-
mouth shut.
Several
I kept my mouth shut. It's not
several
harassment.
people have asked me to talk to you because you're recording them walking in and out of a business.
Yeah, and that's fine.
That's
I
hara-
have the
that's
right to do
borderline
that.
harassment.
No, it's not. I'm
It's
standing.
definitely suspicious.
This is a constitutionally protected activity, filming in public.
Okay, but what,
And I had the
are you
right to do
doing
it.
Are you doing a project or something?
Yes.
Okay, for what?
I'm not going to tell you now because you've been so aggressive.
How? I've kept my distance. I've explained state law to you. How is that aggressive?
Because
Please tell me how that is aggressive.
hang on a second. I have to decline this.
I've done nothing but explain state
I have
law.
asked you if you want to see this paperwork that will explain to you that I have a right to be here. This is federal paperwork from Congress and from the Department of Homeland Security. This right here will explain the whole thing.
I work for the state. You understand
Yes,
that, right?
yes.
So I'm explaining state law to you.
In federal law trumps state law.
No,
it
doesn't.
always does. It always does.
And if you want to be a part of Congress, yes. If you want to be, if you work for the state as like a senator or something, yes. I work for Dorchester County Sheriff's Office. I enforce state law. I do not enforce federal law. I'm not a federal law enforcement officer. You understand that, correct?
Yeah, but federal law trumps state law,
That's
especially
not
when
true.
it comes down to just the freedom of being able to film in public.
Regardless, do you have your ID?
Here, let's walk over here so I'm not going to
Do
get
you have your
trespassed.
ID? I need
I
your
am
ID
not
right
going to
now.
show you my identification.
So you're not going to provide your.
I don't have to. I
you
don't have
do.
to. What
You do.
crime are you suspecting me of? You need
Harassment.
reasonable.
Actually, trespassing at this point. We're beyond that.
Well,
So let me get this straight. A citizen tries to show a cop some paperwork explaining what he's doing there, but this tyrant says, I don't care. If you don't leave, you'll be placed under arrest. This cop is seriously trying to kick a citizen off of federal public property. He's making up crimes that no one is a victim of. He's trying to force the citizen to unlawfully identify himself. This is the kind of cop that gives law enforcement a bad reputation and is the reason most civilians dislike the police. This cop never conducted an investigation. He immediately went to bully, intimidate, threaten, violate, and harass the citizen peacefully filming in public. Honestly, it makes me angry to see these type of tyrants, but let's continue. Oh, and state law will never trump the Constitution of the United States. Now let's continue.
You need reasonable...
Actually trespassing at this point. We're beyond that.
Well,
I need your ID.
are you going to arrest me if I don't show you my ID?
I can.
I need you to give me an ultimatum.
No, I'm not doing that. I'm
Okay,
asking
then.
for your ID.
Okay, then I'm going to move off the
I
property.
need your ID.
If you're asking for it, I'm going to decline.
I need your ID.
I'm
not
declining.
asking, I'm requiring you to produce your ID right now.
Are you giving me an ultimatum
I need
between
your ID
arrests?
right now.
And I don't have to show you that unless you're
Are
going
we
to give me an
Are you
ultimatum.
going to act like a child, or are we going to be adults here? I need your ID.
I am sticking with the law.
Please produce your identification right now.
If you're asking, I'm going to decline.
I'm not asking. I'm
So,
requiring you to produce identification.
Are you going to
right
arrest me if I don't show you my identification?
now. I need your identification right now.
If you're not going to
I need your
arrest me,
identification right now.
I'm going to
I
decline.
need your identification right now.
You sound like a broken record. Unless you tell me you're going to arrest me if I don't show you my identification,
That's not how this works.
we're just having, it is
I don't
exactly
make
how it works.
threats. I don't give ultimatums. Okay? I need your identification right now. By law, you are required to produce it.
Not unless you can provide reasonable, articulable suspicion that a crime has occurred. Now, where is your
Harassment and
evidence?
trespassing. You've been asked to leave by multiple subjects. They don't want you here, and you haven't left yet.
Is this a supervisor here?
Who?
Is that your
that's
supervisor?
My zone partner.
I think you probably have a supervisor show up.
104, 153. Gladly. I will gladly get my lieutenant to come waste his time to talk to you.
All right.
Rather than you be an adult and leave. Got it.
Oh, I will leave if you just let me leave. All I'm doing is filming in public. I'm taking pictures of people going in and out. I'm working on a story about COVID-19. That's all. I'm just working on a story about COVID-19, taking pictures.
Do you work for like a news agency or anything?
A YouTube channel.
A YouTube channel?
Yes, sir.
What's your channel name?
The Lonely Pamphleteer.
I'm sorry, say that again?
The Lonely Pamphleteer. Can I have your name and badge number, please?
Deputy Smith, 143.
Thank you. So he's telling me I have to identify myself, and I'm saying unless there is evidence of a crime, he needs reasonable or articulable suspicion that a crime has occurred, is occurring, or is about to occur. He has harassment. I'd like to know who is telling him that I'm harassing him, because I've been here quiet as a church mouse, and I have evidence of it. I have video. This is objective evidence that I haven't been harassing anybody. That guy over there with the gray shirt came up and wanted to punch me in the mouth, he said. He's going to knock me out. That is the actual quote from him. I haven't said anything to anybody except people who ask me what I'm doing. And I tell them I'm working on a story. And that's all.
You've done this before?
Yes. Yep.
Where
No problem.
At this location? Or
No, over in Somerville, over there by Burlington Myers.
Right.
And police officer showed up, said, you're not doing anything illegal. This is public property. You can take pictures in public. That's it. Yeah, here comes Mr. Arrogant here, Mr. Troublestarter.
Mr. Davies trying to be nice, okay? You have to go beyond that pillar right there or across the street, and you continue to do what you're doing.
Okay.
But
What's your
you
name and badge
cannot
number, please?
Stand on the post office property. That's all he said.
I'm not saying I'm not going to comply. I just want to say,
Still need your ID.
no, sir. Not unless you're going to give me an ultimatum. If you're going to give me an ultimatum, then I'm going to be arrested. Then I'll provide my ID.
If I give you an ultimatum, that's really against the law for me to do that. So
Otherwise,
I'm not
you're
gonna risk
requesting.
my job for some person who I don't even know what your name is.
Well, that's where you're putting yourself right now. If you're saying you want ID, if you're asking for ID, I'm going to respectfully decline
I'm
to
not
show you.
asking you. You are required by state. I'll go look up the statute and print it off for you if you'd like.
Perfect. And it'll say you have to have reasonable, articulable suspicion a crime has occurred.
They called because you're recording people walking in and out of a doorway.
And that's not a crime. That's
suspicious.
public photography.
It's suspicious.
Is suspicious?
It is very suspicious.
Is suspicious a
It's to the point
misdemeanor
where
or felony?
It's to the point where I can stretch public disorderly conduct and take you to jail for that because now we have a crowd watching us.
Because of you.
No, because of you.
Photography
think
by
about this.
itself cannot be deemed
Cause and
unlawful.
effect. Cause and effect, right? I wouldn't be here. I'm the effect.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're the cause.
If
I
a
wouldn't
man,
be here if you weren't still here.
if a man standing here, just simply getting footage, which is suspicious of misdemeanor or a felony.
Especially with everything that we've got going on right now.
I would just like to know,
suspicious.
is suspicion
Very suspicious. I'm gonna go look up that statute for you. Because you are required by state law to produce that.
only if you have reasonable articulable suspicion a crime has occurred.
You see what you're doing?
This is not a crime.
A lot of people very uncomfortable.
This is public photography. I'm allowed to do this.
Don't act like an adult.
He's acting like a little kid. Tell me to act like an adult when he acts like that. Do you know him well?
I've been partner on him for the last few years.
Is he new on the force?
He's been doing it as long as I have.
Mind if I ask how long that is?
3 years.
You're being professional. I don't have a problem with you.
All right. You can leave.
Okay.
You need to leave. Beyond the archway, or across the street. Please do not stand in the street because now you're becoming a safety hazard.
Gotcha.
If you want to stand on that little median, I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
Or beyond that archway. But you cannot step foot on the shaded part. This
All
is
right.
their property and they have asked you to leave it.
Is
that clear enough?
It's clear. Yep. I just want to know, did you get a name of the person who's complaining?
I'm not giving you that.
I'll have to FOIA it then.
Then you can FOIA it, but I'm not giving you that.
All right. I'll walk down here. If you'll tell that guy in the gray shirt to get out of here.
I will escort you down there.
All right.
Yeah. Hang tight on that.
I'm moving down here.
Just don't talk to him. Why do you need to talk to him?
He got aggressive, so I'm just moving down here.
All right. This is your cutoff line. Do you understand?
Okay. Yep.
If they call again and you are on their property, you will go to jail because now you have an official.
This is a trespass warning.
Official
Gotcha.
warning.
Yep.
Do you understand?
I got it. Yep.
Have a blessed day.
Well, now that didn't work over. That's a fail right there. That's a definite fail.